Let's get right into this. This is important. This is about the Social Security Fairness Act and exactly when the benefits will start paying out. And a lot of people want to know right up front when this is going to start with their back pay and forward pay payments. Because, the back pay is a big chunk of money, and then the forward pay is your monthly payment thereafter, yada, yada, yada. So people want to know, when are they coming in? Nobody knows except the politicians. They've hidden this information, and it's on the Republican and Democratic side as to when things are going to push forward. Why do we know this? We know this because the SSA keeps releasing statements that are kind of not very detailed, not very specific. It began all the way back in 2024, December 23rd, where they said, "Hey, if this thing passes, cool, say this to the claimants calling in about it. If it doesn't pass, say this, yada, yada." But they knew for the most part it was going to pass at that point. That's why they released that statement. Then they released a follow-up statement about what to expect, what you needed to do, etc. So we know that they've been working on this for a while. In fact, some believe that when the Democrats and Republicans came together to go ahead in the House and pass this thing, going all the way back, they had a pretty good understanding that this was going to pass because both parties agreed. There was enough people that didn't like Trump in the Republican Party and enough Democrats in total that wanted this thing to pass, so they pushed it through. Now, nobody knows exactly when it's going to pay out, but from what I'm hearing, there are certain markers that we can go by. Now, in order for the SSA to pay people benefits under the Social Security Fairness Act, they must first interpret the legislation that was passed. And it's pretty straightforward, so I would put this at a week's worth of review, right? It's not going to take them that long. To me, they already knew what was going in it, what was going to happen when it passed the House. Didn't need to get to Schumer at the Senate at that point. They already knew what was going on. Now, then they need to update their internal system for being able to do the algorithms, the timeline math to pay people their past retroactive benefits and their future monthly benefits. So they have to build the coding into their system, just like as if it were a payroll system. They had to build these changes into it. Now, then they need to create a list of who will be eligible for benefits. This is the area where you have the most potential for problems because there's a lot of people out there. Most people assume they're just going to automatically get it right. But if people realized how many IRS records were incorrect and didn't have all their earnings or had extra earnings that somebody threw on their account, they would realize this is the tricky part where the SSA can make the biggest mistake. Then they need to notify other agencies and do a cross-check with them for errors and omissions. Because remember, when the SSA makes payments, there's many other industries involved. There's the IRS involved, there's the U.S. Treasury involved, and there's other groups as well, Then they need to do a check on the list and dry run a payment through the system. They're going to make sure that it works so that a couple of payments go through, they try it out, and it actually does what's supposed to do. Then they need to mass train those employees who will be effectuating the new payments. Because remember, the employees, they need to know what to say, they need to know what to do, they need to know what to do if there's an error or problem. And there's two main functions here. There's the back pay of the Social Security Fairness Act benefit increase, and also the thereafter forward pay each month increase that they would have as well. Once the dry run goes properly, then they can set a schedule for issuing payments, right? So at that point, they know it works, the system is good, they're pushing, and it's rocking and rolling. Once the schedule is in place, then they can communicate the release date to the public, right? So at that point, the public is like, wow, this is amazing. We're going to get these benefits. Now, you may be wondering why the federal government, along with the Social Security Administration, has been kind of shitty about telling you when these payments will actually be released. And that's partly on purpose, partly because I'm sure they're having issues on the internal, and partly because the commissioner that's in right now is an acting commissioner that's trying to play catch up with this entire request that she's received from the federal government. Now, I think because Commissioner Martin O'Malley stepped down at the end of November, and November is when they were working on this with the House, that Commissioner Carolyn Colvin, who replaced Martin O'Malley stepped down because he knew Trump would fire him because that's what Biden did to Commissioner Saul. I think she's got a lot to handle on this end because they pass this. It means massive technological updates inside their system. Now, once the schedule is in place, they communicate to the public, then they go into monitoring and adjusting the system mode, right? That's where they have to do all these little changes, all these little modifications to make sure that it works continuously and properly. Now, many of you want to know exactly when the payment will be. What I'm hearing on this end is somewhere between the 16th and 19th for the back pay. From what I understand, the SSA is going through all of this, right? All these stages. They know that they need to release the paychecks before Trump gets into office because that's the reason it was passed. It was passed for the purpose of Biden and the Democrats to receive the goodwill of the community because they helped increase around, 3 million individuals worth of Social Security benefits. They also know that the back pay checks are the real show and the real wow moment that will get people to vote Democrat in the future. So the main focus is to get the back pay checks out first. And the idea is that they want them early enough so as to not let the good vibes bleed over into Trump's inauguration, which is, of course, on the 20th. As a result, you can expect the back pay checks to come in, potentially soon, very soon. But then the forward paychecks, so where you get a check each month, I'm expecting those to be more coming in February, to be the rollover for that month, February, to be where everybody starts to receive those with the regular checks. So expect kind of your back paychecks very, very soon. Now, I don't know if they're going to do this. I don't have any definitive proof, and the people I talk to, obviously I can't name them. I can't use their information because some of them are from the political realm, some of them are from the SSA. The bottom line is, they are producing these things within a very short time frame to make it all go forward and work. The last thing they want at the SSA is to process these payments and have a big whoops where all of a sudden a lot of money goes out to the wrong people or not enough money goes out and then they have to do a massive fix. They don't want that because that will have the opposite effect that the Democrats want here, which is to make sure people are happy with the Social Security changes that they put through. Because, obviously Biden wasn't like the most epic Social Security, the promotion for him before he became president and his pre-White House website, there was a lot there that could have been done. There were a lot of great ideas there that could have been done. But ultimately, as a result, he wasn't delivering at the speed or depth that people expected when it came to Social Security benefits. So, they're worried. And the whole reason the Social Security Fairness Act really passed was that the Fraternal Order of Police put a wedge and leverage in getting Trump to say that he would pass it, which then said to the Democrats, well, we can't let the Republicans have too many big Social Security wins because the Republicans were like, shit, we'll just repeal stuff that they did in the 1983 changes and then give that back to the people and then they'll vote for us and then we'll get in. And that's true. That was a smart maneuver. And the Democrats used that and the Republicans used an even bigger one. So the Democrats were like, we cannot allow the Republicans to have two big wins right at the beginning of Trump's presidency. So they said, pass that Social Security Fairness Act. Also, the Social Security Fairness Act, as it comes across many of the things that were passed in 1983, is one of the cheaper things with the biggest bang for buck advertising for a particular political party. So that's why that was chosen. What Trump wants to do is get rid of the taxes on essentially working adults, because Republican capitalism. He wants people to be able to go out and work. He wants people to be able to keep as much of their money as possible. Republican is small government. Don't tax them. Don't have too many things that restrict them. Like in Florida, they just got rid of a lot of the regulations. If you want to change out a window, you want to change out a door, stuff like that. You don't have to go through the regular permitting process like you did back in the day. So that's the ideology here that kind of has to happen. And so, it's just one of those things where you're going to have to wait. And the bottom line is that you're going to go ahead and have to, see that release. But the push has been to get that back pay check out before Trump takes office. Because think about it. If Trump takes office and then everybody gets this Social Security boost, it doesn't look good for the Democrats. It looks good for the Republicans. And that's not what they want. All right. So anyways, I will catch you guys a little bit later. We're going to be doing the next video very quickly, very, very quickly, where I go live. I wasn't able to go live last night because I was super duper tired. Had a tough time sleeping. I was up until like 1 something because I was working on all the claim files. As you know, I'm Attorney Walter Hnot, the most viewed and subscribed to disability attorney in America. Bottom line is this: I will catch you at the next video shortly where I answer questions live and free. Now, please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, because that stuff helps support this channel to continue to grow. The more that it grows, the more I can afford to pay people to do other stuff at the firm to go ahead and do more videos to update you. Also, keep in mind, I go live on Mondays and Thursdays usually, although Mondays are really difficult because, there's so many people calling in. There's so many things that have to be done. I don't usually get to do it until Tuesday. And Tuesday is rough because I have to wake up super early the next day to go to the homeless center to work with the homeless. So I don't know, maybe a Thursday, Friday thing. I'm not sure. So with that said, also, if you need a 1-hour private consultation, mini contract is below. If you enjoy these videos, videos, please head over to Google, type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida, and throw some stars up there. I will catch you all in the not too distant future. There's Marjan. I see you there. Howdy, howdy. There's Diana. Howdy, howdy. I will catch you all a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you at the next video in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much. Attorney Walter Hnot, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.